They go up against this one monster, and they defeat it, and then movie's over. And that was such an enjoyable ending. We didn't need boom, crash, pow. That always wakes me up when they get to that. and it's just.
Here we go.
We're back.
Well, that was weak, George.
That was George.
I can barely hear that.
Oh yeah, that's the king. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Hit it, Sue, because
So
that's
sad.
all you get.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
that's all I'm getting. Okay, so we're back, and we're going to continue on our Christmas
Theme.
holiday theme.
Yeah.
This week is
Red One.
George.
My movie, yes. My movie is called Red One.
And it's not a
Let
porno
me show
movie.
everything's red. Okay.
And it's not a porno movie.
And you got it, the red one. You got to have.
So this movie is right. So this movie, it stars Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, J.K. Simmons, Kieran Shipka, Bonnie Hunt, Reynaldo Faberle, and Christopher Hiju, who is Krampus, who's Game of Thrones, the wildling. Anyways, so yeah, and Nick Kroll and a few others.
Nick Kroll was very funny.
So this movie, I'm gonna read this thing that. So MORA, Mora, is a mythological oversight and restoration authority.
Yeah.
It is a clandestine multilateral military organization that oversees and protects a secret peace treaty between mythological creatures and humanity. Callum Drift, which is The Rock, he's the head commander of the
ELF.
It's like Santa Claus ELF, ELF, the enforcement, logistics, and fortification. Or why is there something else? Extremely large and formidable. He's told that.
Right.
He's a security. So he wants to retire after this one last Christmas. After
He's
this last
jaded.
Christmas run, he wants to retire because he has become disillusioned with the increased bad behavior in the world. Too many naughty people, and it's also exemplified by the growth of Santa's naughty list. On Christmas Eve, a Black Ops team breaks into the North Pole and the complex and kidnaps Santa. So now Caleb notifies director Zoe, which is Lucy Liu, about the kidnapping, and her team now they need to find find Santa, and they find out that it was because of Jack O'Malley, which is Chris Evans. Somebody paid him money, and he's like a computer nerd. He's got computer tech, and he signed on O'Malley in the North Pole, and he gave him the location. They paid him money. He told him where it was. He doesn't know anything about it. And they went, and it's really, for them, it was really to kidnap Santa. He had no idea what it was. So now they figure out that he was the one behind this. So they go to him, and he's a good tracker too. I mean, in the beginning of the movie, you see how kind of he's good at doing stuff. So they now have hired him to help find Santa, and now he's forced him to join the team. So yeah, the movie actually, I really enjoyed the movie. It's like a lot of this kind of movies. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of Harry Potter at times. It's just a mythical, magical part of it where they have those mythical creatures. There's a couple of scenes like there's when they first grab Chris Evans, or Jack O'Malley, and they have put him in a box and take him to interrogate him. He's like, they kidnap Santa. He's like, oh, because remember, he's us. So he's like, what are you talking about? And then he sees this big horse, massive horse, and then they got this jack-o'-lantern with a fire. He's like, what's that? You mean the headless horseman? Yes. So he eventually starts to figure out that, this mythical things actually that do exist. And then there's one character I like, which is the bear. The Mr. Garcia. I thought it's funny that the bear's name is Garcia. It should have been like Bjork or, Jorgensen. So, but I think that the person who wrote the story, his name is Garcia.
The person who wrote the story.
Yeah, so I think that's why they might name him after that. So, anyways, the movie is not. I think it's getting destroyed by the critics, but the audience loves it. So it's not. It's a $200 million budget film, which is same as Avengers. You can see the CGI, the effects. Mm-hmm. It's not doing too well right now, but I really enjoyed it. I love the magical part of it. I really like that Krampus character when he pops up. Which is the Christopher Hiju. Yeah. His personality, his character is like, even when he's, there's a scene where he fights a witch, And it was his ex, and he's like, oh, and she's beat the crap out of him. He's like, oh, just like old times. I mean, his personality was just so funny. Like, so
Yeah,
there was a lot of moments. I really loved the reindeer in this movie. The first time I saw them, I was like, it's so impressive.
I agree.
It was,
That was
so
very
impressive.
awesome.
They were so impressive. And then, of course, they like The Rock, and they're all gross, and your boyfriend's here. And then it's just, I really enjoy the magical part of the movie. And then that's have a message, the message about staying children. The Rock, for security, he's the solution because there's just too much, well, not to say naughtiness in the world, but just too much, because people forget that they're children. And then Santa, which is J.K. Simmons, was really buff Santa who's going to work on everything, is telling him, no, you just have to see that we're all children. It was just, they're just grown up, but they were all children. And he needs to see that again. So the movie does have a particular message. Oh, yeah, Bonnie Hunt plays Santa's
I was so great to see
wife
Bonnie
too. She was
Hunt.
great. So me personally, I really enjoyed the movie, and I'm really happy that I saw it on IMAX because it was just so impressive.
Yeah.
Bob.
Next.
Yeah, this was an interesting thing for me because I think that that Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans are both flat out movie stars, no two ways about it.
They are.
And I really enjoyed the interplay between them. I thought this story was interesting too. It was directed by Jake Kasdan, who is the son of Lawrence Kasdan, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Right.
Grand Canyon, terrific. What's the Big Chill? Anyway, I didn't go into this with like huge hopes, but I really enjoyed the experience. And I thought at one point I said, "Oh, this is kind of like when I first saw Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters."
Oh, yeah.
It's got some of that quality to it, like some of the magical part of it, the sentiment to it. The writing actually I thought was pretty funny. And then I thought, and at the end of the Ghostbusters, they go up against this one monster, and they defeat it, and then movie's over. And that was such an enjoyable ending. We didn't need boom, crash, pow. That always wakes me up when they get to that. and it's just, it's so totally predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen. This indestructible character will fight this indestructible character.
Right.
And, neither one of them can be destroyed except one of them has to be. So this one, maybe he's not quite as indestructible as the good guy and the hero we're giving all the money to. So we'll get rid of him. We'll get another one in. And it's too bad. It's just too bad. I mean, it's as we've seen recently, the progression of the Ghostbusters movies, it's like a practice piece on the piano. You hit one great note, and then another note that's not that great, but it's okay, and then a stinker,
Oh, I loved them all.
and then a lousy flat
gotta
movie,
say,
and
I
then
loved
another
them all.
really good one,
I did.
and then one that was just another letdown, the last one. But anyway, this one was a lot of very cool people in it. We mentioned before, Nick Kroll, his part is, it was nice to see him have a good-sized role in a movie, too, because he is really cool. He's really interesting. And, the visuals, too. But the problem to me, and I knew this going in, was J.K. Simmons plays Santa Claus, which means they're going to get him out of the movie early on. And he's one of the best actors out there.
He really is.
If you've seen Whiplash,
Oh,
you go to see any movie, you're going to go see it to see J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
And every second he's in it, he is so great.
he's great.
But this, this was like, okay, let's put the older guy out so we have the younger guys who will be more believable fighting.
Yeah.
Now, we saw Santa working out, and he was in
was
sensational
top shape.
shape.
Top shape.
So they should have, I would like to have seen him be involved in that.
Yeah.
Be involved if they're going to have one of those lousy fights. Bring him in, have him come in at the last minute and save the day. But no, the special effects guys come in. The Rock didn't win the fight. Chris Evans didn't win the fight. Krampus didn't win the fight. The bad guys didn't win the fight. The one guy who could have beaten them all, they have
Was
him.
not in the fight.
They've got him in a ball in a cloud. So it just was. It's not as bad as the critics would like you to think.
right.
This is a picture for an audience. This is a picture for folks who like to go and see these kind of movies, because as far as these kind of movies go, this is one of the best I've seen, and certainly in recent years. It's not. It's just. It's predictable, but but they're all predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Shakespeare's predictable.
Yeah.
I like predictable in some
predictable, but impressive.
instances.
Predictable is not bad
It's
if
how
you.
you do predictable.
It's how you exactly. It's how you do it. It's how you bring it around to. Well, we know it's got to end that way. Look at who's in the movie. You know. So what is this going to be? Something where all of a sudden they have the star die, like the Will Ferrell. Mark Wahlberg movie.
Oh God.
Oh, right.
The other guys. I mean, that was like
one? Yeah,
they set it up, and here's these two guys, and then they go, and then it's the best Will Ferrell thing I've ever seen, and showed how funny Mark Wahlberg was.
Yeah.
I mean, Lon has like one of the great lines from that. He loves to. It's just like, you learned how to dance like that sarcastically.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing on that level that's in this, and it was missing because they could do it. Both of those guys. Chris Evans and Dwayne Johnson are both funny actors, aside from everything else. So go see it. You'll enjoy it.
Sue?
Okay. Callum Drift, Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans as Jack O'Malley, Lucy Liu as Zoe, J.K. Simmons as Nick, Bonnie Hunt as Mrs. Claus.
Sorry.
I wasn't expecting to like this film at all because I heard such bad things about it, right? Au contraire. I loved it. It was so much fun. Okay, I just have to you gave props to AJ Simmons.
J.K. Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give props to Dwayne Johnson. I've seen him in a lot of things, and I have to say I have now decided that he is a really good actor.
He really is.
You know, he just plays everything so straight on, like
serious.
Yeah.
But that's charisma. See, I think the camera likes him.
I believe him. I believe him.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that, well, and I know he's a wrestler, so of course
They
that's
learn to act,
acting.
yeah.
But yeah, I just thought, I was like, well, I like him as an actor. I just think he's great. Even though a lot of films are, I don't know exactly the right word, kind of light as far as themes go, but and trendy maybe, but he is a very good actor. And I decided that's movie. Okay, I like him.
I've always liked
excellent.
him. Always.
This Christmas story brings more of the mythical aspects of Christmas, like what's the brother? Krampus. You know, it brings more of that mythical tale as opposed to the religious tale of Christmas.
Right.
What did I say? I watched all the other movies that we're doing before I watched this one.
Right.
And then I was like, I was so ready for this. Like a lighter, just a fun, lighter version of Christmas. I don't want to be crying at the end, although I was. Right? I didn't
Were
want.
you really? You were crying at the end?
Yeah.
She cries at the
Yes.
Don't hold that.
It wasn't anything. There was nothing preachy about the movie. I really liked it.
You had the father-son thing, which was very emotional.
Yeah. But there was a message, and the message is we're all children, and that's what he sees, the children and everybody, and that's kind of like that was the message of this movie, and I thought it was great.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay, I can't read my notes because
another thing.
What?
Don't give Santa Claus macaroons. He doesn't like them.
No. I like them. I can't read my notes, so I'm going to wing it. I like this movie. I love the cast. I love Rock.
The cast was amazing.
I love Chris Evans. I love J.K. Simmons. It was just a great Christmas movie. I mean, I know that says little, but it says a lot at the same time. It's one of those things where there's humor, but it's spaced out, and it's got that message that got teary-eyed for
Yes,
me too.
I
'Cause
like
I
that.
like to be teary-eyed at the end of a Christmas movie. But it's worth going seeing, and don't listen to critics.
Yeah, don't listen to critics.
Yeah, fuck the critics. Juan?
Well, I wasn't as impressed as you guys with this movie. I can say that. I actually compared it because, Jay Kasdan's the one who did the Jumanji remakes.
Love
All
those.
right.
So, and this has the same quality.
Absolutely.
It's just
Yeah.
fun. It goes along. My only
got
problem
Dwayne Johnson.
and Dwayne Johnson, right, is the length. I thought this was too long.
Yeah,
I-
it was too long.
There was too much stuff that I got bored actually at certain parts during this movie.
Cut out
right.
the fight at the end.
Even
No,
the fight
he's
at
right.
the end doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that it's like, you know
Certain
what?
parts.
This movie, it was like I'm watching it, I thought, where's this movie going? It doesn't seem to
Right,
have
right,
exactly
right.
what
Yeah.
they were taking either too long to set it up with
Right.
the Chris Evans character and his son's character and all
Right.
that stuff, or there was something wrong with setting up the Rock's character
No, you're
and
right.
why he's doing that. It's like, come on, just get to the points. We can see it
Right.
because we sort of want the fun stuff to happen. Now, in saying that, they came up with some really creative fun stuff for Christmas.
Yeah,
The henchmen, the snowmen, great. I think that was a great kind of little
Oh, that was
bad
great.
guys to have. Grilla coming up with that one because I know that's Icelandic, so that's why when they made Krampus his brother, like when they said Santa's brother, I thought, who the hell are they
Right,
talking
right,
about?
right.
And then you go to see.
Well, you
Krampus.
never saw Krampus?
I never
Yeah,
saw the
but I
movie
didn't know
Krampus.
he was his brother.
His
But
brother.
I was gonna say I knew who Krampus was, but I didn't. There was never ever, in my
Imagine.
opinion.
No.
Like I said, they're taking mythology and it's like, oh, they're blending them together. They're making Santa
Yeah.
and Krampus because basically Krampus is Santa in certain ways,
Yeah.
but he's
Yes.
the one who punishes, like they
Right.
said, right? So that's when I thought, how funny when they said, oh, about the naughty list and
Right.
certain things. It's like, wow, they're really playing around again and starting a new mythology, which I actually liked about this. Now, the Grilla thing was the strange one because I didn't understand why they put her in, but I thought she was a great villain. That was like the
was
perfect
good. She
villain
was.
to be in this kind of movie.
I gotta say, Lon, you were right. It was a bit too long setting up things.
Well, it was just or clunky or something. It's like
Clunky is good.
But
I
the thing
think-
is, I was wondering if they're doing it. See, like what Bob was saying about Christmas movies, like what? We've seen all these Christmas movies.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't mind watching. I can watch the same story over. It's why I watch It's a Wonderful Life. Like I can watch that 10 times every year.
Me too.
I have no qualms with that.
Me too.
Because that has exactly what I want from a Christmas movie.
Right.
This is a Christmas movie that I think is entertaining for a family. It really is because I do
Right.
like the adventure part. Like I said, that Jumanji part.
Right.
It's like once they get moving and start doing things, I'm into it.
Me
Once
too.
they come to a halt and start talking, it's like I'm bored.
I'm just
too
the
much
opposite.
adventure.
See, I'm just
Me
the
too.
opposite. on
It's
that.
like get to that because to me
Yeah,
it's
get
like
to the
Too
point.
much dialogue for you.
well, not even the dialogue. It's just that, or have it being more meaning. Because see, I didn't find this movie touching at
Well,
all.
I
That's
thi-
what it was missing for me.
I think you brought
Yeah.
up something on this, and I think the reason that the movie was too long is because they're setting up stuff that you know exactly the way it's going to go. So you don't need to set that up. That's going to happen. Set up some more stuff about the characters. Let us learn about who these people are rather than tell us they're going to be in a fight with these guys and look how bad the villain is and all that, because we know that and we know who's going to win.
But see, that's the thing. We know that because we've seen so many movies.
Right.
Think about young kids who have never seen stuff like this before. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. This is for them.
Yeah.
If you want to see
Good
a family
point.
movie and bring your kids, this is a movie. This is why the audience score is so high. I think kids would enjoy this movie. It is, I would call it maybe a little tad violent and a little scary for them because, like you said, I agree with you about that Icelandic actor. He is so good playing Krampus.
Yeah,
Because
he is.
Krampus,
He's
the minute
good.
you get to that land they're in, right? And again, another very great concept, right? How they could travel through time and space.
Right,
I
for the
love
toy stores.
that concept.
That's see again. That's the magic of Santa Claus and
Yes,
Christmas
yes.
and what they do, right?
Yes.
But when they go into his domain, that was fascinating to me. All of a sudden, I'm like really interested, and I thought,
And it was so beautiful. It was like the sets were so
no,
amazing.
exactly. It's so gothic. So
Yes,
it sets
yeah.
a
Well,
mood.
they're in Germany,
No,
so I
you're
guess
right.
the
The
whole
setup was
Hans
too
Christian.
long. Always too long.
But I thought, wow, I really like what they did with that, and I thought, okay, so the naughty list and all that really made sense to me, and that's why I thought I can't just dismiss this as like just
Right.
being a typical movie. This is, I agree with you guys. It is entertaining, and I'd recommend you see it.
And it's very imaginative.
Very much so. And creative event.
Yes.
Or making new mythology, which is what
Yes.
I like.
Yeah.
Taking stuff that exists. It's like, what happens if this happens? Like, they did a very good
Yeah,
job.
I knew nothing about the witch.
Yeah, and I think you were mentioning before, but I just think that the showing us how Santa gets from place to place so quick,
Yes.
They did
and how he
that
gets down the
really
well.
chimneys and all that stuff.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
Well,
I did
even
too.
what made me laugh is like when he eats the cookie, he says, "Do you know how many calories I burn off in this one night?"
Yeah,
Yeah, but then it
4
seems
million.
but he always puts the cookie back on the plate.
No. Remember, he and the Rock share the chocolate chip cookie. That big
likes
thick
chocolate
cookie.
chip cookies.
But they says he has
The
to
coconut
pound
one.
on, and I thought,
But then
that's the perfect. Again, another perfect explanation of why
Yeah.
Fanta is big, because he's going to burn off those calories. And I thought, remember the animated little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Right.
When Santa's really skinny and his mother's Mrs. Claus, eat, right? I said, that explains why Santa's skinny when she says you got to get big.
But it confused me because it looked to me like he was always putting a cookie back on top of where he took it.
No,
I
the
said,
only
so
time
this-
the only time he puts the cookie back is
Was
the
it in
coconut
macaroon?
macaroon.
He
That's
does
what
like
made
macaroon.
me laugh.
I love
Yeah.
macaroons.
But no, he took a cookie and started eating them. And that's what I said about the pounding on the calories. That in one line that just explains so much more to me, right?
Yeah,
So,
it was very clever.
Well, wait a minute. I thought it was the Rock who didn't like the macaroons.
No,
No,
Santa.
Santa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, good. Okay, because Hawaii was going to make some noise on that one.
Jorge?
Well, I think it's funny to have that. You know, he's a level 4 nutty.
Yeah.
Or no, when he makes that.
It's his film, so we got
When he makes the things big, he goes, "You got to Wonder Woman.
right,
Wonder Woman
right.
actually figured."
exactly.
Is it graded?
No, he is not going to grade it
right.
because. Well, did you see it?
I reviewed it. I just
right,
reviewed it
right.
now. It was the
Yeah, but
first
he
one.
doesn't grade movies.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Oh, I give it a 9.
Wow.
I'd give it an 8.
I give it as a 6.
Yeah, for this kind of
You're
movies,
giving everything a 6. Get me, how predictable.
Well, I
That's
gave
his
5.
good.
Christmas.
I like this kind of
Give it
movie,
a
so I'll give it a
6.
9.
Okay, so that is okay. 4 down, one to go.
Well, it better be the best Christmas pageant ever. It's gonna- okay.
Okay, so
Otherwise, I'm walking now.
It'll be
We'll
the,
see you
the
next
best
week.
Christmas review ever.